Welcome to your sixth sense, your superpower. I think that you might be a little bit hesitant to get that excited about, is it a superpower? But it is a superpower, and it will change your life for the better if you really give it a chance. But in learning anything new, the success is really going to depend 100% on you and the effort you bring. I'll match you, but you have to actually put 2 feet in and want this to at least give it a try, at least see what happens. So I want you to check in with your motivation. How are you generally motivated in life? Do you drag your butt through life? I have to, I got to do that. It's no fun. Because that clearly is an indication that the decisions you've made in life have taken you on the wrong path. This awakening is going to put you back on track, get you in the flow, get you back in the rhythm and the joy of life. But you have to make the decision. You have to be motivated to make the change. So there's a Chinese saying that I just love. The way it begins is the way it ends. So let's begin this with a really elevated, high, energetic motivation. My teachers were really good, and I started learning with them when I was 12 years old. I grew up in an intuitive family, and that was just the way we did things. I was not raised in a family where we had to get permission. I was raised in a family where we had to ignore people who tried to block us because the permission that was coming from within was what we valued. My mom, who was so creative, so intuitive, so her own person, would never say to us ever, do what I say. She would say, what does your inner voice say? What does your guidance say? Check that, and then we'll decide together. So that was the gift of my life, was being empowered to check in, to be really connected to who I authentically am. So what voice brought you here? What brought you to this course? I personally think that you were brought here by what I call, in my language, doesn't have to be yours, a divine appointment. Sort of a universal kind of agreement from your spirit or your super self to my super self that we were going to meet at this point in time, and it's not an accident. You were intuitively guided. So I want you to feel and recall, what moment did you decide to even enroll in this course and check it out? What happened in you? What experience did you have? Did you have a curiosity? Were you looking? Did someone point it out to you? Did you just tumble into it? No matter how you got to the course, you had to, at some point in this beginning stage, say, yes, I'm going to check this out. That is your intuition. The part that signed you up, the part that brought you to this conversation. So let's pause right there and locate that somehow, in whatever way you can. Locate that impulse that brought you here, because we're going to grow that impulse. We're going to amplify it, and we're going to let it take over your life. Doesn't that sound fun? Trust me, it is. Okay, so this is a sign that it's working a little bit for you already. I want you to really begin to recognize, it's not that I'm not intuitive. I actually am. It's just that I haven't learned to work with it in a way that's serving me. Maybe you're very intuitive, but you're just frustrated because every intuition you get, you're really good at ignoring. You're really good at fighting with. You're really good at going, I can't hear you. So we have to change that by thinking about and naming and recognizing, well, what's in it for me? If I am actually going to become intuitive, I have to do some things different. I have to try some new techniques. I have to respond differently. I have to make an effort. Now, it's not an effort that's painful. That's the good part. But it's nevertheless an invitation to change your behavior, and that's always an effort. You'll make that effort if you're motivated. So let's name the things that do motivate you, and I'm going to help you. Perhaps you're motivated because you just don't feel energized. Maybe you wake up in the morning and you're just in the funk. You don't have the energy, the enthusiasm, the joy, the interest. It's as if your body's sitting here, but the real spirit of you left the room. And you're hoping that maybe this course would kind of bring that back and get your vitality and your sense of interest in life reactivated. Maybe that's a motivation. So check. Or maybe your relationships are like not flowing. Maybe they're okay. Maybe you're putting up with it, but maybe you're not having any fun. You're not enjoying the experiences of relating to the people you've surrounded yourself with in life. Maybe you're hoping that my intuition could help me better understand, A, should I be in this relationship? B, if I am not showing up correctly, how can I adjust to make it better? Or C, give me the energy to leave so I can attract myself to the right people that will work for me. Or DEF, kind of get into the place of where I'll meet my people and be myself. Maybe that's your motivation. Because your intuition will do that. It can do that for you. Maybe your motivation is, I just struggle in life with my survival. I'm not a creative person. I'm not making money the way I want. I don't feel abundant. I feel stuck. I feel like I'm making ends meet. I feel like I wanted to have an experience that's a little bit more expanded, has a little bit more resource available to me, maybe financial resource, maybe resource of opportunity, maybe resource of inspiration, because it's not just about money, it's about meaning. Maybe I'm looking for meaning. So is that your motivation? Just keep checking, because we have to understand what's in it for me to show up. You did show up, but you may not understand why yet. Maybe you showed up because you actually are intuitive and you've had enough good experience with it that you know this is the good stuff. This is going to bring me the joy. This is going to bring me the excitement. I want more of this. And I want to learn how to get more of this regularly, reliably. Wouldn't that be amazing? So maybe that's your motivation. You know what I don't accept, though, is the response, I don't know. That's laziness. That is your consciousness kind of going dark on you. Just be curious enough, interested enough to ask yourself, I went this far, I got this far, I pushed this button, I pushed this button, I pushed this button. Something was moving me forward. I call that something your spirit. You can call it your expanded self. You can call it your higher super ego, whatever. Something moved you, and that something is the promise that this course offers. That something is your best you, maneuvering you in the direction of connecting with, experiencing, expressing, manifesting your best life. So what I want you to do is I want you to just pause the video right now. Take a breath and just focus to the best of your ability. It's not a test. It's just an interesting question. If I could get something out of this, if I really could get what I want, what brought me to this degree, to commit this far, my toes are in the water, what am I hoping to experience? So I want you to write it down, or at least, because I know there's a lot of people in the world, the minute I say do this, your inner self goes, I'm not going to do that. So plan B is at least speak it out loud, because when you name it, you claim it. What's your motivation? Is it relationship? Is it health? Is it money? Is it just meaning? Is it connection? Is it seeking joy? Is it seeking your people? All of the above. Leaving the life you don't love to finding one you do, all of the above. And we'll be back, and I'll give you about 1 minute, because it won't take longer to really name your motivation. But don't look in your head, look in your whole body. Take a breath, and I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, welcome back. And I hope that you were able to identify at least a little bit of your motivation. That's very important because if you don't own your motivation, you're not going to show up. And that brings me to the second part of this lesson. I'm going to ask you to do something that we're very, very rarely asked to do, but is really essential for your success. Are you ready? I'm going to ask you for the next little while, working together over the next 21 days, to put 2 feet in, fully commit, and play full out. In other words, give it your all. Just try everything. You don't have to like it. You don't have to commit to it. You don't have to succeed at it. Just try it for real and try it with full energy, just like full enthusiasm, willingness, and curiosity. Don't show up part-time. Don't cruise by like what I call drive-by, just kind of, because it won't work. And I want to set you up for success, okay? So I want 2 feet in, play full out, knowing your motivation, but also surprise. It's not hard. This is actually going to be a lot of fun. This is going to surprise you. This is going to be delightful, but only if you show up 100%. So here's an interesting question. I want you to think about, what have you shown up to in your life so far 100%? Just consider it. Maybe in my work, maybe with my kids, maybe with my friends, maybe with my hobby, maybe with my creative passion. But where have you shown up in the past up until now 100%? And how has that worked out for you? I can pretty much assure that it's working out. Maybe you're not at the highest, best place, but there's something in you that feels good about it. There's something that's congruent, something that's aligned, something that makes you happy and leaves you feeling, I am being my true self. Okay, just feel the vibe, feel the energy, feel that, because that is what intuition feels like. It feels good. Doesn't mean it's easy. Don't confuse easy with good. It feels true. Don't confuse it with right and wrong. It feels true for me. So notice that and take a breath. Now I'm going to ask you one other thing. Where are you showing up now? Not 100%. Maybe even if it's 99 or 98, where are you showing up where it's 50%? And how is that working out for you? Now think about those experiences. And do you notice, do you get immediately tired? Like, there's this classic movie called The Wizard of Oz. And there's a scene in this movie, The Wizard of Oz, where the Wicked Witch gets water thrown on her and she's like, I'm melting. And do you feel like that when you go to any situation where there's not 100% commitment? Because that is how your energy's going. It's draining. It's going down. You're disappearing yourself. You're evaporating. You are losing yourself. And it leaves you feeling really tired. So at minimum, showing up 100%, giving this a few weeks of your 100% effort is going to energize you. It'll surprise you. It'll entertain you, I promise. It'll give you some confidence, but I can't do a thing for you more than you're going to do for yourself. Can't. Now, if you show up 100% and I show up 100%, we're going to have an exponential result, not 100%. We're going to have exponential, because then the universe shows up 100% too. The quantum field joins in because there's no resistance. That feels really good. And if there's nothing in your life you're showing up to 100%, well, guess what? You were brought here by that inner knowing in you that's smart enough to say, this doesn't work. You need to be here. So trust that. You were brought here for a reason that your own inner self, your own guidance led you to. So I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to trust the fact that you showed up and trust it 100% and have this experience of what life feels like when you're all in and you're aligned with you, not with what's around you, but with you, your inner voice, your authentic self. It's mind-blowing. It's fun. So, your assignment, write down where you're not showing up and write down what that feels like. Share it on the community because we need to be witnessed and we need to express. We need to have a dialogue with our kindred spirits. Where are you showing up 100%? Again, share your successes. Share how that feels. Pay attention. And actually ask yourself and make a commitment, not to me, I'll teach you and move on, to yourself. Write that commitment down. State it on the community board. This is my commitment to me. Because then you can ask yourself, do I have the capacity to show up 100%? To me, for me, listening. It's okay to be a beginner. You don't have to be good at this, just willing. So if you're willing and I'm willing, we're going to have a good time. So that's your assignment, and I'll see you tomorrow.